Namaste, Hamesha Kushro Bitia. I am JV and Dr. Minakshi, Assistant Professor in Department of Shalakya Tantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. In today's session, we will discuss the allergic keratitis. So under allergic keratitis, there are three subtopics like flectanular keratitis, vernal keratitis, and atopic keratitis. So first of all, we will discuss the flectanular keratitis. The corneal involvement may occur secondarily from extension of conjunctival flecton or really as a primary disease. It may present in two forms, the ulcerative flectanular keratitis or the diffuse infiltrative keratitis. So, what is the ulcerative flectanular keratitis? Okay, there are the first we'll discuss the causative agents. The causative agents of this disease, the allergens are tuberculous proteins, which are considered previously as the most common cause. And Staphylococcus proteus, they are now thought to account for most of the cases. Other allergens may be proteins of Moraxella, Exenfield, Bacillus, and certain parasites like worm infestation. And the predisposing factors for fectanular keratitis are the peak age group is 3 to 15 years. The sex incidence is higher in girls than boys. Then about undernourishment, disease is more common in undernourished children. The living conditions, overcrowded and unhygienic conditions predispose to the fectanular keratitis. Then season, it occurs in all climates, but incidence is high in spring and summer seasons. So these are all the etiology, the causative allergens, and the predisposing factors of the flectanular keratitis. And then we comes to the first form of the flectanular keratitis, that is the ulcerative keratitis. The ulcerative flectanular keratitis may occur in three forms: the sacrophilous ulcer, the fascicular ulcer, and the miliary ulcer. The sacrophilous ulcer is a shallow marginal ulcer formed due to breakdown of small limbal flectin. It differs from the cattle ulcer in that there is no clear space between the ulcer and the limbus, and its long axis is frequently perpendicular to limbus. Such an ulcer usually clears up without leaving any opacity. Second type of ulcer is the fascicular ulcer, fascicular corneal ulcer. It is as a prominent parallel leash of blood vessels. This ulcer usually remains superficial but leaves behind a band-shaped superficial opacity after healing. And next image, there is a you can see a leash of blood vessels in this image, paraleash of blood vessels, and when it will heal, it will leave a band-shaped superficial opacity. Next type of ulcer is a miliary ulcer. In this form of multiple small ulcers are scattered over a portion of whole or of a portion of or the whole part of the cornea. Then next form of flectanular keratitis is the diffuse infiltrative flectanular keratitis. It may appear in the form of central infiltration of cornea with characteristic rich vascularization from the periphery all round the limbus. It may be superficial or it may be deep, and the recurrences are very common. The clinical course is usually self-limiting and flectin disappears in 8 to 10 days, leaving no trace. Then we come to the differential diagnosis. Uh, then it should be differentiated from the episcleritis, scleritis, and other diseases. Then comes the management part, the treatment part. Treatment includes a local therapy. First, there is a local therapy, the topical steroids. They're in the form of eye drops or ointment like dexamethasone or betamethasone, produce a dramatic effect in the flectanokeratitis. The antibiotic drops and ointment should be added to take care of the associated secondary infection, and atropine 1% eye ointment should be applied once daily because the cornea is involved. And under specific therapy, uh, there's an image of the diffuse infiltrative rectanglokeratitis. You can see there is central infiltration of the cornea and rich vascularization from the periphery. The next type of allergic keratitis is the vernal keratitis. Uh, Under the conjunctivitis, there is a topic called vernal keratoconjunctivitis (VKC). So, under that topic, there is a topic named as vernal keratopathy, when the corneal involvement occurs in the vernal keratoconjunctivitis. So, and is a vernal keratitis. The corneal involvement in VKC may be primary or secondary due to the extension of limbal lesions. The vernal keratopathy involves the five types of lesions. First is the punctate epithelial keratitis. Second is the ulcerative vernal keratitis or shield ulceration. Third is the vernal corneal plaques. Fourth is the subepithelial scarring, and fifth is the pseudogerontoxon. Then first, punctate epithelial keratitis involving the upper cornea is usually associated with palpable form of disease. The lesion always stain with rose bengal and invariably with fluorescent dye. The second type of lesion is the ulcerative vernal keratitis, or called the shield ulceration. It presents as a shallow transverse ulcer in upper part of cornea. The ulceration results due to epithelial macrolesions. It is a serious problem which may be complicated by bacterial keratitis. Third type of lesion is the vernal corneal plaques that result due to the coating of the bare areas of epithelial macrolesions with a layer of altered exudates. Then four type of lesions are the subepithelial scarring, which occurs in the form of a ring scar. Then fifth type of lesion is the pseudogerontoxon. It is characterized by a classical cupid's bow outline. There is an vernal keratoconjunctivitis with the shield ulcer. Then comes the treatment part. The treatment of the vernal keratitis is done by the topical steroids. Is the mast cell stabilizers, topical antihistaminics, acetylcysteine eye drops, and topical cyclosporin 1% drops, and supratarsal injection of long-standing steroid, or cryo application for treatment of the large papillae, surgical excision of the large papillae. Then it's important the treatment of vernal keratopathy. The punctate epithelial keratitis requires no extra treatment except the instillation of steroids should be increased. The large vernal plaque requires surgical excision by superficial keratectomy. And severe shield ulcer resistant to medical therapy may need surgical treatment in the form of debridement, surgical keratectomy, as well as amniotic membrane transplant to enhance the reepithelialization. Here is an image of the vernal keratitis. Then next type of allergic keratitis is the atopic keratitis. It is an adult equivalent of the vernal keratitis, and it is often associated with atopic dermatitis. Most of the patients are young atopic adults with male predominance. Symptoms are itching, soreness, dry sensation, mucoid discharge, photophobia, or blurred vision. Signs are lid margins are chronically inflamed with rounded posterior borders. Tarsal conjunctiva has milky appearance. Cornea may show the punctate epithelial keratitis. Treatment is often frustrating. To treat the facial eczema and lid margin disease, sodium chromoglycate drops, steroids, and tear supplements may be helpful for conjunctival lesions. And the last, there is an image of the atopic keratitis. You can see, so the session of allergic keratitis completes here. Thank you so much. This session is powered by digital version 2.0 to the Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you're satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you so much.